Queens and Kings, welcome back and thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. In today's video, as you guys can see, I will be doing some glamorous DIYs which are dupes of Gallerie and Pier1, where I will be using Dollar Tree items as well as Amazon. So if you all would like to see how I create each look for less, please continue to watch. Hey Queens and Kings. Okay, Queens and Kings, before we jump into the DIYs, I want to tell you guys about the crystal rhinestone wrap, which I have used this item once before, years ago, where I made some glamorous flutes for my wedding. Now, this item came from Amazon, which was no more than $8. So I will be using this out throughout the entire video, but more than one row. So let's go ahead and get into the first DIY. Okay, so we're going to start off with Dollar Tree 6-packs of napkin rings, as well as their fix all adhesive, and I'm going to use some wire cutters. You can use scissors or none at all because of the bling wrap or crystal wrap is so thin you can actually pop it with your hand. But I advise not to do it because you may lose some of the little diamonds, or if you just that picky about it. But anyways, now here we're just taking one of the napkin rings. We're going to place some fix all adhesive on one side first because this glue dries very quickly, which that's one of the reasons why I like it so much, because it dries so fast and it's affordable as well. After we place all the glue down on one side, we're going to take our bling wrap and we're going to place that down as close as possible to the edge first, and we're going to start wrapping it very tightly, very close, because we don't want any gaps. And you're going to take your time doing this because of the simple fact that the bling wrap is so thin, it will turn over, flip over, and you will have to go back and redo it to flip it back over on the right side. That's if you catch it before it dries up with the glue. So we're going to continue doing that for the entire napkin ring. Okay, now Queens and Kings, we have made it to the finish line. So basically I'm showing you guys where I started at. I want to finish on the opposite side across from it. And I'm just going to take my wire cutters and just cut the rest off. Alright, so now we're at DIY number 2. We just used something different, and it's going to be the mirror coasters that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm showing you guys the difference of the size. Dollar Tree had those bigger round mirrors coasters, now they have the smaller ones here now. And this inspiration came from Pier1 because of the simple fact I've been looking for these coasters forever. You guys know I have been bragging and talking about them so much, so I said forget it, I'm just gonna bite the bullet and just try to attempt to make me some, because Pier1 said they no longer have them in stock, they don't longer sell them. So oh well, it is what it is. But now, out of all the DIYs that I'm going to create using this bling wrap or crystal wrap, this was the hardest one, the tedious one, the one that took up most of the time, because this one here was very hard to start off. Now, as you guys see, I did place some glue down first because I wanted it to get tacky so it can hold the crystal wrap. But it started to flip over in the middle, and I couldn't get it to flip back over for nothing at all. I guess because I'm going in a circle and the circle wasn't wide enough. That's the reason why. So I just left it as is and I continued going, but I made sure the remaining of this coaster, all the crystals was faced upwards. So I will continue doing this method here, basically turning the coaster and holding it down, pressing it down in the middle, as you guys see me doing it, because it will bubble up a little bit and I will have to press back down, push it down some more. So I will continue doing this, placing the glue down and wrapping, placing the glue down and wrapping until I get the desired look I want. But I'm doing this here kind of slower than I would do anything else throughout this video. Okay, so now we done made it to closer to the edge, and as you guys can see here, it got bigger, it's even much prettier, it's sparkling and shining, so it's giving the look that I want. But you guys see where I was basically where I'm touching here, because the crystal's starting to flip over and now the wrap is actually starting to tangle up, so it's getting very hard now, very aggravating and much tedious than what I would expect it would to be at this point here. So at one point I think the crystal wrap did pop, so I had to start off where I left off from and just keep on continuing going around the same method, placing the glue down and wrapping and spinning, wrapping and spinning, wrapping and spinning until you get it to the very end, how you did for the napkin rings. Alright, Queens and Kings, so now we're at DIY number 3, which is inspired by the Gallerie, which they have the lovely mugs or cups you want to call it for, I think like $40 for a set, and I'm nowhere close to $40 for a set, so I had to recreate these, and we're going to use the same methods. Alright, Queens and Kings, so we have made it to the 4th DIY, the 4th one, and now this one here is a Z Gallerie dupe as well, which this dupe here is more like $40 for a candle holder. Like, geesh, that is crazy. But as you guys can see, I have already did it off camera and I'm loving it, but it's just portion of it, just half of it. I want to show you guys how it looked before I actually put the wax in there. But it's gorgeous, gorgeous so far, just being half. So now we're going to move on to the next best part of this candle holder. Okay, so now you see I'm here to the stove, and I know you guys wonder like, Val, what are you doing? I got the stove on 7 or 8, and I'm using Dollar Tree little wax tall candle here, which this is how I'm going to be able to get the wax out of here. Now I got it in this small pot, but you see how tall this candle is. I'm actually going to have to put it into a bigger pot, which you guys will see as now. And as you guys can see, by the water have melted the candle, you see that it turned into liquid to the bottom. And I will continue doing this until I can get the rest of the wax melt. Now I did have to push it down because you see my pot is not that tall, so it can melt it all the way down. So I was able to push the wax down. And I'm showing you guys here where I had turned the stove down to 6, I believe 6 or 5, because I was kind of scared that it was going to break, honestly. Like, I really thought it was going to scatter or whatever. So here, all the wax have melted as much as possible. I still just have that little piece there where the actually stem, so therefore it don't get wet and I'm able to burn my candle. So what I'm gonna do next is try to pull this in here, and as you guys see, my husband is trying to help me, but he kind of scared to do it. So I just needed him to pull that out, and I'm just gonna place it to the bottom, and then I'm gonna pull the wax on it. And now that it have been 24 hours, it had dried overnight, and here you guys go, my beautiful candle. Affordable, gorgeous candle, which I totally love the way that this came out. Now I think this is by far my favorite out of the 4. You Queens and King, let me know what you guys think. Did I pull it off? Was this, it's more affordable? In my mind, in my eyes, it was, because this candle here alone cost $30-some at Z Gallerie. The cups was $40-some alone at Z Gallerie. Those coaster alone at Pier 1 is like $20, $30 something. And we can't forget the napkin rings. The napkin rings is like $30 something. So I think I did pretty good because all these items came from the Dollar Tree, was so affordable, as well as this bling wrap. And I did use 4 packs, I think, 4 rows or 4.5 rows. So you queens and kings, let me know if you all enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will talk to you all in the next video. Bye bye, and continue to be royal.